And we have the turmeric here, and 1 onion, a bunch of garlic cloves, cumin seeds, garam masala, and some red lentils. So first I'll be putting in 1 cup of red lentils. I'll be using 2, but you just watch and see. First cup in the pan. Now I'm just pouring my second cup of red lentils here. And then we're going to throw that into the pan as well. Now I'm going to move over to the sink, and now we'll have to wash. As you can see, the colour of the water is still quite murky, so you just have to rinse the lentils until you get a nice colour. You can see in the sink, in the bowl, the colour of the water, so you have to keep on giving it a good rinse, a really, really good rinse, to get all of the dirt, anything that's in the lentils that take away any of the impurities. You'll see me wash it a good few times because it needs a good, really, really good thorough wash. And you want the water to be pretty much clear once you're done. Another way to make it easier when you are washing your lentils is you could just use a sieve, but I tried that before, but I just found that the lentils end up sticking to the sieve and it didn't work out well for me. So this is the method I usually use. I just use the rinse and throw out the cold water, and then use my hand to kind of stop any last little pieces of lentils falling into the sink. So now I'm just doing my last rinse. As you can see, the water is nice and clear now. Managed to get all those impurities out. And I'm just going to drain the rest of the water from the lentils, so then I can measure how much water I need to be putting in to the lentils when it goes onto the fire. As you can see me now just using my method of draining the water out with my hand. Now there we go, all done. Now I'm just going to be adding 5 cups of cold water to the lentils, and I will be putting that on boil, and then once it's boiled then you let it simmer, and then once that's done, or as that's doing, then you start with your vegetables. I start with cutting up 1 onion, and I will be just, as you can see, chopping that up and taking the skin off and making that nice and ready to chop up. There we go, onions all chopped up. They are now ready to go into the pot, and as you can see on the side there's some olive oil there. I drizzled just a little bit of that in before I chopped up my onions, and then I'm just going to give that a little spin around, make sure it's all evenly coating the bottom of the pot. Now I'm just going to get my garlic, and these I'll be ready to cut those up and get those all ready to go into the pot as well. Just squidge them down, it makes it easier to take the skin off then. That's what I find helps. There we go, that's the garlic all chopped up, ready to join the onions in the pot. Scrape those and just push those all in, and there we go, that's done. Now I'll just wait for the onions and garlic just to soften up, and then just give the onions and garlic a bit of a stir together just so they don't burn. So just keep that moving around. And what you want to happen is for your onions to soften and go more of a translucent colour than the raw onion look. You want it to be more of a translucent look by the end of once you're done cooking. You want it to look nice and go nice and soft. So now that the onions are nice and soft, I'm just going to add a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Just shake those in. And then I'm just going to shake some garam masala. It's getting kind of stuck, but I managed to get enough in the pot as well, and just put enough in there. Sprinkle a little bit and put them all up. Now we're moving on to turmeric, or turmeric as people call it. I call it turmeric. And just put some of that, again, give that a bit of a shake. Give your onions a bit of colour. There we go, another piece for just some luck. There we go. And now I'm just going to stir that all together and make that come nicely together and get a brown, goldeny brown, yellowy look from my onions. Just continue to kind of stir a bit, just so nothing gets stuck to the bottom of the pan, because you don't want that to happen. Adds nice flavour to keep it going. And as you can see in the pot next to it with the red lid, that's where the lentils are, nicely just cooking and boiling and simmering in there. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil, because I could feel that it was sticking to the pot and getting a bit stuck, and just give it, and want to give it a bit of liquid so I could move it around and brown the onions a bit more with all the nice flavour that's going to come from all the spices and nice ingredients I put in there. Now you can see the onions are looking nice and yellow golden in the pot right there. It looks very nice, very nice. And I'm just going to check the lentils now. They're doing well, that's what I like to see. Very nice. There we go. Give the onions again, give them a bit of a smooth around. You don't want it to get stuck at all. You don't want any burning of the onions. You don't want that to happen. That's not what you're trying to achieve. So you have to keep it moving, keep it moving. I think at this point add a tiny bit of water just so it didn't stick. There we go. Look at those lentils, come on very nicely. Now they're ready to pour in. My camera just cuts out. And here we have the final result.